So, I tweeted a poll on my phone asking, what you guys want. And all of you, and by all of you, I mean literally one person, said conspiracy theories. So, so. That's what I'm gonna do. So, yeah. BRB. Oh gosh, I haven't done a video like this in such a long time, like with just the camera and... So I know that a lot of people haven't really thought about the reasonings, but when you realize the reasonings, you sort of fall into a hole that you can't stop falling into, and you seem to just fall for hours and hours, and then it seems to go for days and days, and then it seems to go for years and years. And people are actually starting to think that the government is creating conspiracy theories. Well, not conspiracy theories. Are creating things like wildfires with lasers starting them in California. And, what is this channel become? Other things like that. But what about the government? Why haven't we been paying attention to them? Sorry, I keep on looking at my thing. Why are we getting so much distractions that we're not paying attention to them? Oh my god, that scared me so much. It's all because of one thing. Distractions. Okay, sorry, I'm just gonna show you real quick. I mean, just think about it. Yanny and Laurel. They're such a viral thing. I mean, they're blowing up on Twitter, blowing up everywhere. Even though it's an old thing, they're still blowing up everywhere. Non-stop. Just listen, okay?
Yanny?
Laurel. Laurel.
Or Laurel?
Laurel.
Do you hear Yanny?
Laurel. Laurel.
Or Laurel?
Laurel. Laurel.
A recent Twitter poll found that 47% of people hear Yanny, while 53% hear Laurel. Clearly, this has created an internet argument that is dividing the nation. So, what is the science behind the madness? One of the first aspects is priming. If you were to play this clip without providing the option of Yanny or Laurel, you may have heard neither of these words, but by reading them, you're primed to hear one or the other. Secondly, when you speak, you are producing sound waves, which propagate through the air. This is a visual depiction of the sound waves of the original Yanny/Laurel recording, created by Brad Story, a professor of speech, language, and hearing. Here is the depiction.
Now just think about it. Now, what I want you to do is close your eyes and listen to it. You're going to be very surprised, most likely, because you're not going to have the choices that you originally had to hear. Just take a second to close your eyes and just listen to it. Don't think about what you originally heard. Just relax and listen. Okay? Oh, crap. Now, I'm gonna do this before you. Now, originally I started hearing Yanny. But now that I'm thinking about it, I'm starting to hear yeah, mate. Now, the creator of this was a girl who was looking up her vocabulary words and came across the word Laurel and clicked on the speaker thing and heard Yanny. She's like, that's definitely not Laurel. So I want you to close your eyes and just listen really carefully. Alright? I thought that was my dog.
Laurel. 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 Laurel.
Okay, so now I'm starting to hear yeah me. Or hear me. See, when you don't have those options, you hear other things. And this is just what I'm talking about. You get distracted by everything else that you don't realize what's happening around. I mean, just think about it. There was actually a fake news interview once. Hold on, let me pull up Shane Dawson. Dawson. Here's he. There we go. So let me find the one I was Now what I want to show you is his intro, because this is something you should know. I'm so glad that oh crap, that I have another device.
Warning. What you are about to watch may make you question everything you thought you knew. Viewer discretion is advised.
So I'm going to show you the entire video because I have 23 minutes. Oh, this is 45 minutes. Okay, so I can't show you the entire video. But I'm going to find my place. I found the clip.
Assignment on vocabulary.com, and I clicked it and I heard Yanny, and I knew that wasn't one of my vocab words.
So you're probably thinking I'm going to say this whole thing was a conspiracy and it was just meant to distract us from the important things that were going on.
Laurel. It's Laurel, America. Definitely hashtag Laurel.
So clearly Laurel. She was like, Chloe, you should tweet this, it can go viral. So I tweeted it and it went viral.
Hashtag Laurel.
It's like just blowing up.
No, I don't think that's what it was. But it does correlate with a theory that is a lot darker than that. But we'll get to that a little bit later. Now, after Yanny and Laura went viral, a bunch of other audio clips came out that were freaking people out. This one was played on The Ellen Show, and I can't believe it didn't get more attention. I'm going to play you an audio clip. Listen closely. Now listen to this.
The juice of lemons makes fine punch.
And now I'm going to play that first clip again. I know. Weird. If you haven't heard this thing yet, then you're probably freaking out.
It's like a horror movie, isn't it?
Here's another example of it that is even crazier. And now, listen to this.
The Constitution Center is at the next stop.
And listen to the first clip again. So what just happened was when you heard the clip initially, it was a lot of static and your brain didn't know what to make of it. But then in the second clip, you heard what the person was saying. So then when you listen to the first clip again, your brain knows what to look for and it hears it through the static.
The juice of lemons makes fine punch.
Now these next few things I'm going to show you are examples of audio illusions. This is an illusion of hearing when the listener hears sounds that are not present. Alright, first I'm going to play you a sound that feels like it keeps going up. That's right, it feels like it keeps going up forever. And then there's versions of it going down. gets so confusing because you're waiting for the beat to drop or for something to happen, and it doesn't. It just keeps going. Now, the next type of audio illusion we're going to talk about is the power of suggestion. So watch this clip and think of the word brainstorm. All right, now watch the same clip again, but this time think of the words green needle. And there's so many other examples out there. Just listen to this one from a T.I. song. First listen to it and think, 'cause I'm a paper chaser. Now listen to it and think, 'cause I'm a big fucking slut. I know, that one is crazy. But by far, the craziest audio illusion is called the McGurk effect. Watch this woman and tell me what you hear her say. Ba, 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 ba. Do you think you know? Watch again. Ba, ba, ba. You still think you know? All right, now watch it with your eyes closed. Ba, 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 ba. That's right. The whole time, she was saying the word ba. Ba, ba, ba. Just to let it sink in even more, watch this guy do it. Ba, 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 ba. So how is this happening? Well, your ear is hearing ba. Ba, ba. But your eyes are seeing fa. Ba, 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 ba. So I was curious if I could recreate this myself and try to trick some of my most skeptical friends.
This is the thing. People are distracting you about what's really happening. Like, think about it. Think about the laser thing I was talking about. Let me find it. 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 If it's even there. Oh. Okay. It's not on this video. Shut up. Hold on. Okay, so I just saw the TikTok ad. This one, and it just made me think a part of my conspiracy theories that I've heard from Shane Dawson. My God, let's young. Apps are even distracting you about what the government wants, like the fact that the government might be using lasers to start wildfires or be testing out lasers. I mean, think about it. Donald Trump. Now, my grandmother was a voter for him. My grandfather and I, we don't really care. But, Donald Trump will want to, he literally says himself, I want to be unpredictable. I'm sorry, what? Just listen to that again. I want to be unpredictable. Sending a laser in a war is unpredictable. I mean, just think about it. Think about it for at least 1 second and think about how he would... Sorry, my phone turned off. He would try to, and since he's like, hey, why don't we test these out? He obviously can't test it out in another country because that would obviously start a war. So he said, where's one place that I hate the most inside of my country that we can test on? And obviously it's LA, with all of the people and famous celebrities in Hollywood. I mean, because think about it. Most of the people that have insulted him are celebrities. So he said, well, I hate them, so let's just start it in LA. And that's how the wildfires started. Wildfires. I mean, hold on. Let me find the video of the tree being struck with lightning. And the houses. Okay, I found a bit of it.
So first you see them setting up the shot of the protest. Then you see the producers putting all of the protesters in their place. And then you see the producers laying down flowers in front of the protesters' feet and putting flowers in their hands. And then moments later, you see what it looks like on the actual news.
What I want to show you now, viewers, is a wonderful scene. There are flowers on the street here. Ladies with hashtag turn to love.
Yeah, they literally act like, oh, here we are. We just caught a protest. We saw them placing people. We saw them handing them signs, putting flowers at their feet. Now, of course, CNN came out and said, no, it was not fake. We just set up a shot and we had some of the protesters from over there come over here. And maybe that's true. But it's hard to believe the news sometimes when they do things like this.
Good morning. Well, obviously we're getting a nice break from the rain, but not the flooding. This is essentially now a part of the Passaic River in this neighborhood.
Yeah, she was in a fucking canoe. Just to scare everybody. Oh my god, the water's so high, we're in canoes! But one of my favorite moments of the news getting caught faking something happened with Nancy Grace. Now in this clip, Nancy Grace is doing a satellite interview with another reporter. Huh. Kinda looks similar, right?
I want you to pay attention to the red truck and the bus. Red truck, bus.
Nancy Grace and the woman she's having a satellite interview with is in the same parking lot.
You see this red SUV drive behind Ashley Banfield and then immediately behind Nancy Grace.
And not just the same parking lot. 3 parking spots away from each other. What? Why did they do a satellite interview? Why are they faking that? I mean, that one's insane. But the biggest scandal of all time when it comes to faking the news is this clip. Back in 1990, a CNN reporter named Charles Jacko was covering the Persian Gulf War. Now, he's supposedly in Saudi Arabia outside of a hotel. Well, then an angry staff member at CNN leaked this clip years later.
Let me say hi. Geopolitics by Dan Quayle.
I know what you're thinking, well, maybe they're just having fun. But then he starts playing with what looks to be a prop of a missile.
This is a Scud. Now, when you detect this, you can tell it's been launched. Thank you.
I know. Like, what? Well, then he starts playing with his emergency mask.
Let me just size my mask and fit it for a second, just like I always do.
It seems kind of like a set, right? There's no wind. When the camera pans over, you see some wood. It almost looks like a fake wall. Well, but then you see what it looks like when he's reporting live.
Because of military regulations, we're not allowed to show you where the missiles might be going.
Wow, that's different. He's panicking, holding his earpiece. Well, remember earlier in the clip when he was asking whether or not he should test out that face mask? You're about to find out why.
CD, if you need to take cover, I notice that you've got your gas mask in your hands. If you need to put it on, please do so. If you need to take cover.
I mean, come on. Now you're probably wondering, what did that man say when this clip started to go viral? Well, he sent an email to the person that posted the clip, and he said this. Our coverage was on the roof of a hotel. The plywood background was erected as a guard against the sand and windstorms. And the clowning around in the video is just that. We use black humor to deflect the tension of covering Scud missile assaults. And then he showed some pictures of what the actual hotel in Saudi Arabia looks like. And it looks pretty similar. You have the blue walls, you have the palm trees. You can even see the plywood that they set up to guard from the winds. And as much as I hate to say this because you know how much I love a conspiracy, I believe him. I mean, all the proof is there. It was years ago. Why would he still lie about it? But man, oh, that clip was weird. Side note, that's something I want to start incorporating more into these videos too. If I
like, I'm sorry, what? I know how stupid I'm sounding, but I swear I'm not this dumb in real life. I'm just in a rush. Okay, I finally found it. Alright. I had it still, paused. And I was like, okay, I found it. Oh, wait, it's still paused. So.
Side note, that's something I want to start incorporating more into these videos too. If I find out that a theory I've talked about has been debunked, I want to bring it up because I think people should be looking deeper and deeper into them. And not just thinking everything is true, because some of these theories end up being bullshit.
Boy, did I almost look stupid.
I know what you're thinking. Shane, how are there conspiracy theories about wildfires? I had the same question, and then I fell down the hole on the internet, and oh my god. So as you already know, there have been so many fires spreading through California the last few months. And some of the footage is insane. Right off the freeway, an entire mountain filled with flames. Celebrities' houses getting evacuated.
Thank God for this event this morning because I got up at 5:30 and everyone came to the house and they're like, we need to leave.
And the fires are incredibly spread out, but some of the footage of the aftermath had a lot of people confused.
So the recent California fires are very strange and suspect.
I want you to try to figure out what is strange about it. You have 5 seconds. You're about to find out.
In drone footage of the aftermath, we see houses completely obliterated and turned to ash while the surrounding landscapes and trees are totally fine.
That's right. If you look at some of this...
I'm sorry. What? Why? You're about to... I know how stupid I'm being. But this is serious. Like, very serious. It's important that we know what's happening in our world, in our life, and conspiracy theories are just reminding us that we need to face reality, to see reality as it is. My cat is being weird. I think he's high on nothingness.
Footage. All of the houses are completely leveled, but then all the trees in the neighborhood are fine.
You'll notice here that stores and restaurants are wiped out while other things are still in perfect shape.
Well, then I looked into it. A couple scientists came out and said, well, the trees are wetter than usual, so that's why they're not that flammable. But then I did a quick Google and I found a lot of videos of neighborhood trees burning down to nothing. Now, one of the craziest clips I think I've ever seen is a clip of a tree that a guy found that was burning from the inside out.
A haunting but mesmerizing scene from the wildfires in Sonoma County. A man came across this tree burning from the inside out.
Now, that situation doesn't happen in a forest fire. The only time trees really burn like that is when they're struck by lightning.
Let me turn the brightness down so you guys can see.
I know, that was intense. But this is what the trees look like right after that. Yeah, they look exactly like the tree that supposedly caught fire during one of the wildfires. So you're probably thinking, Shane, where is this going? One word. Lasers.
Laser.
Okay, hear me out. I know this sounds crazy, and I 100% thought it was bullshit until I really started looking into it. Now, the theory is that the government might have been testing out some direct weapons. Now, these weapons would be in the form of lasers, and the damage they would cause would be way worse than any fire could do. Imagine if the government did figure out how to do laser weapons, what kind of damage they could do to their enemies.
Here's a laser at a power of 1 watt. A 1 watt laser can light a match. Imagine then the power of a 500 trillion watt laser. That's exactly what they've built here at the National Ignition Facility in California.
Yeah, that's right. They literally are building that giant laser in California. Now, this is the craziest part. In a movie back in the 80s called RoboCop, this happened.
Top story, Santa Barbara.
10,000 acres of wooded residential land were scorched in an instant when a laser cannon aboard the Strategic Defense Peace Platform misfired today during routine startup tests.
Literally, laser weapons hit the same exact locations that the California wildfires are. And here's the thing that's even crazy.
Ad.
Easier. When a fire burns down a house, it still leaves some of the house. Yeah, it's black and yeah, it's all fucked up, but there's a little bit of structure still there. But when you look at the aftermath of these California wildfires, there is nothing. Not just houses have been leveled down to the ground, but even cars. Glass and metal have been melted. So how could glass and metal in these cars be melted? How could these houses be leveled down to nothing? Lasers. Now remember earlier when I showed you that clip of the tree that was burning from the inside out? Now supposedly that happened from the wildfires, but it looked more like it happened from getting struck by lightning. And what did that clip look like? Lasers! There's even tons of clips of people saying that their own house lit on fire, but nothing around them did.
There was no other fire around us. It just caught some of the shrub, I guess embers, I'm not sure.
And to this day, we still don't know the true reason why all of these fires so far apart from each other happened. Yeah, they're saying the high winds and the dry land, but these specific fires were some of the biggest fires in history. And this is the final thing I heard that made me think maybe this isn't complete bullshit. Now, Trump is all about winning. If we go into a war, he wants to conquer it.
I'm really good at war. I love war in a certain way.
If we have a big weapon, he probably wants to make it bigger.
Where I could stand in the middle of Fifth Avenue and shoot somebody and I wouldn't lose any voters, okay?
So if he found out that the government did have the capability of laser weapons, and he knew that North Korea is really wanting us dead right now, then why wouldn't he want to do a test and see how the lasers worked?
I want to be unpredictable.
But obviously he can't test it on another country because then that would start a war. And what place in his own country does he hate more than anywhere else? Los Angeles.
Some celebs are just not a fan of the Donald.
He despises the people in Hollywood. He despises celebrities because they all talk shit about him.
He loves tweeting about KFC and beautiful chocolate cake and put them all together and this is what you get.
So why wouldn't he press that button and say, you know what? Fuck it. Let's blow up LA.
It's lasers!
Because if you remember, some of the most affected people by these fires were celebrities.
Comedian Chelsea Handler tweeted, "Just evacuated my house. It's like Donald Trump is setting the world on fire."
So not only did Trump get to test out these laser weapons, but he got to get some revenge on some of his Hollywood enemies.
I'm about to rock this place down.
Now listen, I know that all sounds very crazy, but let's not forget about life imitating art.
10,000 acres of wooded residential land were scorched in an instant when a laser cannon misfired today during routine startup tests.
So there has been some pretty dark rumors about some people in charge over at Nickelodeon for a while. And recently, a thread on Twitter started to go viral. Now, besides the fact that there are some pretty sexual and creepy images in some of these Nickelodeon shows, there's also some very creepy jokes that probably shouldn't be in a kid's show.
One time, my brother found a vacuum cleaner in our church basement. He took it home, and now he keeps it in his room. Well, you should call the church and tell him he has it. Oh, they wouldn't want it back.
Yeah, she's referring to a young boy using a vacuum to suck his dick on a kid show. Now, they also call out that the word hobknocker is used in iCarly.
Oh yeah, do you guys remember Wade Collins? That obnoxious hobknocker from America Sing?
Well, here is the definition of hobknocker. When a guy hits you in the face with his penis.
One might call him hobnoxious. Oh, Carly. Anyway.
And then the thread goes on to show some more creepy visuals. I mean, this one is,
I'm thirsty.
And then we get to
poor Ariana.
The foot fetish.
Dang, dude.
That's what I said.
I mean, really? Let's be serious here. That's a nice foot.
Right? I know. Now, if you're a fan of some of these shows, you might remember that there's a lot of feet involved. In iCarly, you see one of the characters getting her foot rubbed. In Victorious,